Bonjour.
Vous m'entendez clairement, vous êtes?
Oui,
Oui, oui.
oui.
Donc, désolé, I was in another meeting, donc je viens de terminer. Donc, let's see. Est-ce que vous avez des questions par rapport à l'abside 3? Any question, any specific question you want me to go through? Question 4, je vois. Il y a d'autres questions encore? N'hésitez pas, vous êtes. This is your session. So basically, it's mostly your problems and then we discuss. Donc, question 4. Qui c'est qui a pu faire question 4? Let me see first of all what's there in question 4. Okay, the question about inputting details of free persons. Let me maybe just share my screen with you. It's easier to follow. Mais sinon, vous allez bien, vous êtes? Pas de gros soucis? Ça va avec Covid, là, votre famille, etc. En général, c'est OK? Donc, il y a question 4 et question 7 aussi. Donc, juste pour passer un petit message en même temps. Donc, you know that the situation à Maurice, situation pas fameuse. Donc, faites très attention. If you don't need to go out, don't go. But that doesn't mean que vous casez complètement non plus. Will go crazy. So, look for times for where you can still go out, but there will be less people. Par exemple, je sais pas moi, aller faire morning walk just after sunrise and things like that, or very late in the evenings, il y a des parcs, etc. tout autour de vous. Donc, we have to keep ourselves healthy. And healthy means also having a disciplined life. Donc, pas parce qu'on est à la maison qu'on va passer tout notre temps à dormir, à regarder la télé. And this is only the only hobby that you have. Don't do other things with it. Sinon, arrivé à un moment, ça va être très difficile. Donc, c'était juste en passant. And I hope you have hobbies like, I don't know, je sais pas moi, jardinage, la peinture, cleaning, if you like cleaning, why not? Donc, whatever, but do things which makes you happy. That's the only thing I want to tell you. Okay, donc, allons aux questions 4. Anyone wants to share question 4?
Can I share my screen?
Sure. Okay, I have to stop sharing. So as far as possible, I don't want to just give you the answer. I want to see first of all what you have done, and then we discuss. C'est à ce moment-là qu'on arrive à voir vraiment what are the problems that students are having, where are the areas where they are not able to pick up, and then from there I give my input. Donc, est-ce que tu peux peut-être agrandir un petit peu?
Comment on fait ça?
So this question is about, let me just quickly check the question again. So we have to input the details of free person, surname, date of birth, profession, email, and we have to display the details. So basically, the program is just, there is no process as such. On a just input a output, and for the output then we have to make use of /t/n for leaving tab space or moving to the next line. Ok, donc voyons voir ce que tu as fait. Okay, so for this question, I see that you have made use of a for loop. I haven't explained for loop yet. Donc, si tu as utilisé for loop, c'est OK, il n'y a pas de souci. Donc, for the others, vous êtes, basically, whatever, so line 16 jusqu'à line 23, as it is appearing on the screen here, this part will have to be repeated 3 times. For the first person, second person, and third person. I don't want to go into too much details out here, mais puisque tu as fait le loop, donc basically the first line here which says for I equals to 0, I less than 3 plus plus I, this basically we are saying repeat whatever codes are there within the braces in line 15 and line 24. 4. So whatever code is out there, repeat this 3 times. And since you have free students, so is it students or is it person? So what is it? Free persons. So since you have free persons, Babish here has declared surname as an array of free. So basically, you can store the name of free persons out there. For the others, forget about this surname free, etc. What you're going to do, you are going to define 3 different surnames: surname 1, surname 2, surname 3. 3 different date of birth, DOB1, DOB2, DOB3, same for profession and email. Donc vous aurez pour chaque personne les variables qui vont être différents. Okay, and then you will not be using this for loop. So for the moment, if you are not active, basically I haven't done loops yet. So for the moment, it's not necessary that you do it this way. You will just repeat the same thing 3 different times, mais bien sûr en utilisant les variables, les relevant variables. Donc pour person 1, par exemple, ça va être surname 1, DOB1, prof1, etc. Donc, vous allez faire ça et ensuite, vous allez faire le display. Donc, this question was basically to train you in terms of how to do a display in the format given. So, if you see line 26, he has put surname, date of birth, profession between quotes, and in between there are the /t. Donc, /t is going to leave tab spaces as we have seen. Et ensuite, line 27 jusqu'à line 29, he is displaying the details for person 1, person 2, and person 3. So for those who are not using arrays like this, it's not going to be surname square bracket 0, surname square bracket 1, 2. Ça va être surname 1, surname 2, surname 3, et ainsi de suite. C'est bon? Is it okay? There was a question in terms of this question. Donc, est-ce que c'est bon pour les autres? Vous avez à comprendre? Any question? Anyone else wants to share? Someone who has not done it through loops. Maybe you can raise your hand so that we can display it and others can see. Anyone who has done question 4 not using loops? So if I have no volunteer, I will just pick up someone and you will have to show me your answer. Que ce soit bon ou pas. Any volunteer? Okay, Faith. Yes, please share your screen. I just want you to be able to see what's the difference when it is with a loop and without a loop, because I have not explained the concept of loop yet. So this is what basically I want to show you. Okay, if you can zoom. C'est trop petit là, on va voir. Okay, donc here we have, so he has done it as just said earlier. Donc surname 1, surname 2, surname 3. And then you have seen surname 1, DOB1, etc. Et ensuite, when you have entered all this, can you go down please to show the output part? Donc the output part is as the other student has shown. Donc surname 1, surname 2, surname 3. And now note that here we are not using any square bracket parce que ça c'est 3 différents variables. Also, maybe what I should point out, when you have entered, for instance, for surname, donc quelquefois dans les surnoms, we can have 2 words. Okay, donc instead of just cin, you have to use getLine. Okay, and also yes. Note when you use getLine, la dernière fois on avait eu des problèmes when we use a mixture of string and an array of characters. So you have to then include cin.ignore. So look for existing examples. Donc vous aurez à inclure ça aussi. Donc merci beaucoup Faïz. Let's move on now to the next question. So question 3 and question 7. So let's see question 3 first. Any volunteer for question 3? Okay, question 3 is so easy that you don't know how to do it. So accept 3. Let me see your answer first, some of you, and then I will explain if it's not correct. Any volunteer for question 3? Please raise your hands. Okay, I have to put my charger. Please wait. Any volunteer for question 3? Okay, so next thing maybe what I'm going to ask you. Okay, can you please put your camera on, Wizard? I don't know what you're doing, whether you're just here passively, you've logged on and then you've gone away. Okay, Wizard, if you can please put your camera on. It's an interactive session. There is no recording. So please put your camera on. Okay, the question 3. Any volunteer for question 3? Do we have any volunteer for question 3? Yes, so we have Sherina. So Sherina, can you share your screen for question 3?
Yes.
So we have to input 3 numbers and then we have to display them in the reverse order. Allora, vad ska kaffe?
Ma'am, is it visible?
We can't hear you, Sherina.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Can you talk a bit louder? Follow.
Yes. Is it visible, ma'am?
No, it's not visible yet.
No.
Tu as mangé, Sherina?
No.
Tu n'as pas encore mangé à 1h30? Quelle heure tu es réveillée? 10h, 11h?
No, I had class in the morning, so I couldn't eat.
Okay, donc let's see what you have done. Donc, you have input 3 numbers. Okay, ben c'est parti.
Sorry.
Okay, so you have input 3 numbers, num1, num2, num3, which have been defined as 3 integers. And then you just have to output it in the reverse order. So instead of saying cout num1, num2, num3, she has done cout num3, num2, num1. As simple as that. Okay? So here we were not expecting to have, for instance, the use of loop, sorting, and all that. No, it was just a very basic example. So later on, after we have covered topics like loops, arrays, and so on, so then you are going to be able to use different types of, you can apply different types of sorting, ascending, descending, etc. Not by having to touch each and every single element in terms of the variable, but storing them in an array and being able to use loops. So pour le moment, loops, arrays, for most of you who have not done programming before, this is like talking in Greek to you. Don't worry about it. In due time when we discuss, then it will make more sense. So I don't want to rush on this. So pour le moment, we are getting acquainted with C++, the data types. Plus at the same time, donc la sheet 4, ça va être plus en termes de if then else. Okay, donc merci Sherina. I hope those who had question with regards to question 3 now, it's clear. Question 7 now. Okay, question 7, c'est quoi? A ladder is against the wall. Write a program takes as input length of the ladder and angle of inclination and calculates and displays the maximum height. Donc ça c'est, so this is basic where you have to apply formula. The maximum height against wall. Okay, donc basically you have to calculate the height given the angle. Okay, that has been given. and the length of the ladder. Donc, si on a long and then we have the length of the ladder, so can we calculate the height? That's the formula. So, which formula you are going to use there? Which formula to use, Fuza, to calculate the height given the angle and the length of the ladder here? Vous êtes sûr, vous venez de terminer, Jessie?
Pythagoras.
Exactement. Donc, what would be the formula?
Sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse.
Ben voilà. So basically, you have the only thing is that you have to convert the angle into radian. So when the user is going to put the angle, so let's say the angle is 35, for instance, 35 degrees. You first have to convert this angle to radian. Donc vous avez formula for converting degrees to radian. If you don't remember, there's always Google Wizard. You go and check what's the formula for converting degrees to radian. Once you have your angle in radian, then you are going to make use of the trigonometric function, in this case sine here, from the math library. So for this question, first of all, il fallait include math, math. And secondly, when you input your angle and the length, you have to convert the angle to degrees. Et finalement, then make use of the sine function as per what is available in the CMAT library. So, qui c'est qui a pu faire ça? Who can share her answer or her answer? Do I have any volunteer who wants to share their answer here? Neil, okay, please go ahead, Neil.
Okay.
And I hope that with time as well, I'm going to. So today I saw a few more names who are volunteering to show their answer. So they are participating in the class. So I hope that with time, this is also going to be applied for other students who have not been participating so far. Donc tu peux ouvrir question 7.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. We can see question 7, but we can't see the answer.
Wait, my PC is lagging.
Your PC is lagging?
Yes.
Okay, you have the answer somewhere in the notepad or something, a text document, TXT document. You could just open it straight away. So when it saves, it doesn't save in the file. You can just right click on the file and say open with WordPad or TextPad.
Wait, here we go.
What's the size of your RAM?
4.
Ah, okay. So that's why the
Yes.
answer from my part as well, whereby at least 8 GB for your RAM. Okay. So, tu peux zoom un petit peu, s'il te plaît? Merci. Donc, you have here, you have input the ladder length. And how have you declared the ladder length, the variable?
Double.
Okay, très bien. And then, because it could be, it's not necessarily exact value. Donc, ça c'est bon. And you're also having the angle in radian. Then you're going to input the angle. And look at line number 231. Donc, since you are in line number 231, I'm sure that all your lab questions are in the same file. Am I wrong?
Yes.
No, I'm right or I'm wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay. Okay, this is for you. You've done programming before, but please, what you also have to do is, even if you are doing it like this, which I strongly don't advise, so from time to time also make copies, just in case the file gets corrupted. Then you would have lost everything. Okay, so one of the simplest ways to make copies, for instance, for your revision, all these files, all these programs that you are writing, you can just simply copy paste them in a Word document. Donc, au lieu d'aller ouvrir chaque programme à chaque fois, you have for each lab question. So you have the lab question, you have the workout, the question in C++. So copy paste it somewhere in a Word document, so that for your revision is going to be easy. You have just one document that you're going for, and you have all the questions out there. Okay, donc coming back to his answer now. Donc, you have input the angle, and then you're converting the angle to radian, which is angle multiplied by pi over 180, and I hope you've defined pi as a constant. Donc, normalement, I see that you've defined pi as a constant, but it is within the main. Normalement, when something is as a constant, it will be outside the main completely, so that it becomes a global constant and it can be used anywhere in the program. For the time being, this will not make much difference to you since you're using just one main function. But as we proceed and we are going to have different functions for different functionalities, then then you will see that it's important to define our constants outside the main so that it's accessible everywhere. Donc ça c'était an aside, and then you are applying the formula for calculating the length. So for questions like this, I repeat, so if you have questions like this for the test, I don't expect students to remember each and every formula. Even I forgot all the formulas because it's not for me, it's not important to remember. I'm not sitting for an exams. For instance, I need the formula to calculate something. I will Google it and I will get the formula. So I will be providing you with the formulas, the mathematical formulas, and the thing is you have to be able to apply it to solve the problem. Okay, donc merci, Neil.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other problem that you are facing with regards to lab sheet 3? Any other problems that you're facing? Just a question to all of you. Question 6. We are saying that how to calculate the distance, square root, etc., with the power of 2, etc., etc. So basically, how you have calculated the square root, which function you have used to calculate the square root and the power. Square root, comment vous avez calculé square root? Vous êtes question 6.
Power half.
Either power half or there is the SQRT function. Someone has typed it. Merci, Sena. Donc, there is the SQRT function available in the math library. So instead of using power, the value and then virgule half, you could have used straight away the SQRT function. So you want to calculate the square root of a number, you just say SQRT bracket that number and you will get the square root, which is going to be in as a floating point number. Okay? So if you have, I hope you had a look at the CMAT library. What it's very important out there when you're using a function from the CMAT library, it's not only how to use the function, but also what is the type of value being returned by the function. Okay? For instance, if you are looking at the SQRT function, so SQRT, so I'm just looking for some examples where it tells you what type of, okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you just to show you how to ensure that you know that you're picking up the correct values. Let me just share my screen with you. Okay, so this is the math library and the reference guide. I already sent you the link last time. Donc, par exemple, I went in the, donc là vous voyez mon écran, oui. Donc, I'm going in the SQRT function. So this is what it tells me, double sqrt double x. So basically this is saying that when I use function sqrt, within the brackets here I have to send a number, and that number will be in format double, and then the return value what I get when it computes the value, that's also going to be a double. So then you know that, for instance, you have an example out here which says include mat.h. So for you it's either mat.h or cmat, depending on which version, which platform you're using. So what we have done here, we have the param value which has a particular value here, and then we also say sqrt param, and the result is being stored in a variable result itself, which is of type double. Okay, so I just wanted to show you all this. Note that these examples, there are slight variations in terms of the syntax which is being used here. For instance, instead of cout, there is printf because this is using the plain C version. Cout is basically syntax that we have from C++. Then it says sqrt percentage f. Percentage s is to denote that we want to print a float number. And then percentage f slash n, and then we are putting, so the first percentage f will be the value for param, the second percentage f will be the value for result. So the syntax is different compared to what we are doing in this class with the cout. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight this here so that you have at least some understanding what's happening and you are able to follow these functions. Okay, so for those who did not pick up this link last time, I'm just going to send the link again. So please go through that. This includes all the different functions available in this CMAT or math library that you need to use for your mathematical computations. So any other question with regards to lab sheet 3? Can you please raise your hands? Lab sheet 3. Any other questions that you have? No? So can we move on to lab sheet 4? How many of you have already started lab sheet 4? Okay, so we have a couple of students who have already started lab sheet 4. Okay, so is there any problem? I'm not sure if all of you have, so it's very few students who have started lab sheet 4, but do you have any issues with lab sheet 4 that you want to raise? C'est bête de discuter the answer, the problems if you haven't even worked it out yet. So is there any issue, any specific issues for those who have already started that you want me to go through for lab sheet 4? Otherwise, it's only next week that we are going to discuss lab sheet 4. Okay? Is it lab sheet 4? Yes. Lab sheet 4, which covers weeks 4 and 5. So by next week, so next coming Monday, we are completing week 5, and by Wednesday, you should be able to work out all the questions in lab sheet 4. Okay, so please go through lab sheet 4 over the weekend, et à ce moment-là, s'il y a des soucis, on peut revoir ça lecture. Probably we are going to have some time during the lecture because I've already started, so I don't want to rush as well. So if I'm completing the explanation for whatever we are doing with regards to control structures, I will not start a new topic. I will take additional time to do some practice questions with you. And then, of course, you can also have any query, any issues we can discuss during the lecture. Any other question? So any other question? Lab sheet 3, lab sheet 4? No? Okay, so my attention now goes to students who join in late. Donc, est-ce qu'il y a des problèmes? Any specific problems? I can go through it. Also, that for your assignment. So maybe it's good I discuss the assignment. Donc, il n'y a pas de questions? No? So maybe
No.
I discuss the assignment then with you. It's almost final. So I have updated it yesterday. Just want to have to check it again before I put it in the classroom. But since we have some time and you don't have questions, maybe I'm going to discuss a bit the assignment with you. Comme ça, vous pouvez commencer à réfléchir déjà. Give me a second. I'm just looking for the file. The one I just opened is not the correct version. Okay, I'm looking in last year's folder. Okay. I was saying I made the updates, so where is the updated version? Assignment. Okay, so let me just share my screen with you. This assignment is going to be posted in the classroom by end of today or tomorrow. But I already just want to discuss it with you since we have students who are here. Okay, so there's someone who's talking in the chat room. Let's see, is there any question? Okay, so before we move on now, another question. Can you explain number 2? So number 2, Disha, c'est quel lab sheet that you're talking now? Lab sheet 3, number 2? Yes? Okay, and lab sheet 3, number 2. What do we have? Okay, the question about concrete. Let me just share my screen again with you. I explain. And then so lab sheet 3, question 2. This is the question that you're talking about. So we have the figure shows a concrete cylindrical pillar with a cylindrical hole in the middle. So this is your pillar, and you have a cylindrical hole in the middle. So all this is going to be hollow inside. So basically, the question is telling you to calculate how much concrete we need for this. So you can calculate the volume of concrete. Yes. So how do you get the volume of concrete required for this structure? So you have to calculate for the whole one. So you know the height. Okay, it's h. And then what's also given? So have we given the radius R1? So maybe it's not labeled properly. So R1 and the radius R2. One part is a hat with radius. Okay, so this part H1, the radius out here is going to be R1. And for the part with R2, the radius is going to be R2. So you can calculate the volume for this part, the one with H2, the volume for this part, the one with H. And if you know this, then you can calculate. So if you know for the whole, you calculate the volume for the whole structure minus the volume that you're going to calculate for the first subpart and the second part here for H2, H1 and H2. Do I answer your question? Is R equal to 1 plus 2? No, or is it going to be 1 plus 2? No, it's not going to be 1 plus 2. because ça c'est le radius, ça c'est le radius. So we don't know the radius for the bigger part. Is there a way to calculate this? So what have they given otherwise?
Actually, we have to enter R, not R2. R2 also, actually, we have to enter R.
Okay, so yes, so because if this is missing, then we have a problem. So we have to enter one, and R2. We need three of them. R2 will be for this one, for the part with height h2. We still need the R2 out here, so we have three radius. One for this upper part, upper dotted part, R1. One for the lower part, R2, and one for the main. This is going to be A. So if you know A, then you can apply your formula, calculate for the bigger cylinder, and then calculate for this smaller cylinder and this one. And the volume is going just to be for the volume of the bigger minus the volume of these two small cylinders because they are hollow inside. C'est bon? Does it make sense? Okay. So let's move on now to the assignment. So my screen is already shared with you. So now you can see the assignment. I'm just going to go briefly through it so that you have an idea. When you're going through it, I will ask you to go over it during the weekend, and then when we have classes Monday. So on Monday, then when we have classes, if you have any issues, then we can have a look at it together. So basically, as I was saying last time, the assignment is about creating a small application in either 2D or 3D. Most students have been creating in 3D over the past 2-3 years. So the platform that you can use, I have proposed some based on what students usually use. It's Unity or Unreal, but you could be using something else as well. And then I have also provided this time a list of potential titles at the end of the document. So let's maybe just go through the title so that you have an idea. So this title is just a proposal. You are not, it's not necessary that you choose one of these titles. So we have proposed 20 titles. And if I'm not mistaken, we have 20 groups in total, the whole batch. Because each group is going to be, we are using the same group as per the assignment, as per the grouping that has already been made for skills. Okay, so it's going to be 5 students per group. Okay, so some proposals: car racing, bike game, driving test simulator for Mauritius, a game for marine life. So I've tried to put some titles which are more in the Mauritian context, in land activities, variation of Super Mario, Candy Crush, Maze Runner, etc., etc. I've also put on some traditional games that we have, les jeux d'antan comme on dit. So basically, la marelle, casse-côte. So if you don't know about these games, why, so you can go and check with your parents. Probably they will know. And then you also have the other typical games like attack, zombie attack, gamification, police making a raid somewhere, and so on, action games and so on. Okay, though these are some of the games, but it's not exhaustive. So you want to come up with another idea? Yes, please. The only problem is that when you come up with your own ideas, very often we have multiple groups who wants to do the same title. So since I have already formed you in groups, so I will be sharing a document by end of this week. First thing, I just need to note it down before I forget. Okay, noted. So I'm going to share a document with you, and you are going to tell me which title you have chosen for each group. Donc, okay, we have a problem now. For those who do skills with me, I have already put you in groups, but then I have students who are not doing skills with me. Have you already formed groups for your skills? For those who are not doing communication skills with me, Uzad?
Yeah, we do have.
Yes.
Donc, vous avez groupe de 5 pareil?
some have 6 students in it.
You have 5 to 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you have to do then, since you have already formed groups for the other class, donc ça s'applique à groupe C et D, you have to send me the list of groups. So then I have all your names, so I will assign it that particular group number. So then anyway, when I communicate to you via mail, I will put all this. So groupe A et B, c'est bon, on a déjà les groupes. Mais groupe C et D, puisque vous ne faites pas comme ça avec moi, there might be other way your tutor has done your grouping. So you will have to send me the group. Donc, est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un now? Which batch do I have for the moment? Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un from group? What do you mean for groups which don't have full numbers? Combien il y a dans un groupe? 4 pour moi? 4 c'est bon. 4 à monter. Normalement, moi, je préfère 4 à 5, pas plus. Mais si vous me dites que ça a déjà formé les groupes avec 6 personnes, donc, I won't tell you to break your groups. Unless you want me, I can just create the groups again very quickly. I just do a sorting by ID. I create the groups with a maximum of 5, with 5 in each group. Yes, our group has a female, but we don't know where he or she is. Okay, so okay, but you can ask me for who's the other member. I have the email of the person because I have the full list of your batch, and then you can get in contact with that person. Okay, so just send me an email and the name of the person, I can tell you. Ok, donc c'est-à-dire on a déjà les groupes formés pour groupe C et D aussi. Donc Félix, quel groupe tu es? So you're in group D. Okay, so you're doing comes with me. Anyone from group C now? Or group D?
I'm from C.
Groupe C, c'est qui est groupe C?
Babish.
Ok, donc est-ce que c'est bon, vous avez déjà formé les groupes là?
Oui.
Okay, so anyone who's kind of a class rep in your group?
Angela.
Oui, je suis là.
Okay, donc
Et Marchi.
Makshi. Oh my God, it's very difficult name. Okay, donc are you class rep for both group C and D?
Je suis la vice close rep.
You are the vice class rep. So can you get in contact with group C and D? And then you are going to send me the list for the groups. Okay?
Oui.
I see. So I'm putting a note here. Your name is Hey Makshi. Okay, so ça c'est pour les groupes. So coming back now to the assignment itself. Okay, donc là, these are some of the possible titles. Let's see now what are the expectations for the assignment. So basically, we are going through the different stages of what we have been doing in class. You have a problem, whatever game you want to do, you have to design it, the pseudocode flowchart, you have to write the code, test it, and you have to document the program. So in terms of evaluation, when is going to be carried out? So that will be in semester 2, week 9, which means that you can't wait for the end of semester 1 to start working. So there are prior activities which you can already start doing even if we have not done a lot in terms of programming skills yet. So you can already, for instance, confirm, do a bit of background work, and then confirm which game you're going to do, which area, and so on. Okay. Something else very important, I have put it in red. Although it's a group project, each team member is being marked individually based on their contribution. So you will see in the report somewhere I have put distribution of task, whereby you have to specify qui c'est qui a fait quoi. And when I say distribution of tasks, it's not based on the different chapters that you have to submit, but it's based on what is the work that has been done. Donc, si nous dans notre game, allons prendre un exemple. If in our game we have, let's say, 3 levels or 2 levels, and in each level we have different types of activity. Donc, chaque personne peut prendre one particular activity and do all the implementation related to that. Donc, ça c'est en termes de distribution of task. In terms of deliverables, so basically it's going to be hard copy. I don't think we are going to look for, basically it's going to be soft copy, not hard copy. So you will have to submit at the end the soft copy of the report plus a video presentation and we are going to give you the access where you are going to upload, etc. Comme on a fait, those who did comes with me this week, that this is how you are going to upload. Now, what you have to upload, the report, which is coming down, plus the video presentation, which is giving more in terms of a demo of what you have done, qu'est-ce qu'il y a comme différents éléments in this particular project. Note that this is what you submit, but when we are then going to assess and then we find some difficulties or we have queries, we can still get back to you. So maybe I should just put it here. For any additional information or query that we have. Okay, because sometimes it can be in 2 different scenarios, the queries that we need. For instance, sometimes we see a work which looks too perfect. We have been working with you, we know your level, which looks too perfect, you have been carried out by your student. Or sometimes it could be that you have done something, but it's not very clear to us what we have done, and then we are going to ask you probably for a live meeting to explain to us what you have done. Okay. So now you also have to submit a report. Très important vous autres, because this is also related to writing, documentation, and all that. So I'm already providing you a template, what needs to be there in the report. Donc, si vous faites this assignment and you're writing this report, then it becomes quite easy even for your other assignments to know a bit how to structure. If I need to submit a report for an assignment, how to structure it. So this is very much aligned with what you have to submit as a final year project. So you can go and check in terms of rule and regulations online. You will see many of the topics out there which are very common with what you submit with the final year project. But of course, in terms of complexity, this one is very little compared to what you have to submit for your final year. For final year project, the maximum number of words is 10,000 or something, 8 to 10,000 for an undergrad, just for you to have an idea in terms of volume of work which is expected. Okay. So on terms of different topics, so acknowledgement optional. If you want to, you have to thank someone, which might not really be relevant to you for this type of project. Abstract is a summary of the whole application. TOC, table of content, list of tables, list of figures. So list of tables, not with respect to your database tables, but any tables that you have as elements in your report. List of figures, any figures that have to be that are there in your report. So then we have the different chapters, starting chapter 1, introduction, where you give a brief about the project, the problem statement, the scope, okay, so see why I did not want to give it to you straight away. There are still parts which are not complete, so I still have to. So scope is basically in terms of what up to which extent you have gone in this particular project. Distribution of tasks I just explained. Background study will be basically what is the element of research that you have to do before embarking on this project. It's almost 1, so I will be getting the next batch soon. And then analysis. So analysis, design, implementation, conclusion. So whatever you're going to do, you have a module regards to software engineering, where you are going to do the different stages of software development life cycle. This gets in there in the report. So your functional requirements, non-functional requirements, use cases, these will be things that you will be doing in that other module. Then the design, so the architectural design, the modeling constructs, what type of interaction we have in the game and so on, the database design if any, and the implementation part. Donc pour le moment, ce que vous pouvez déjà commencer à faire, c'est introduction and background study. Ça, vous pouvez déjà commencer à faire. Okay, then when we meet in January, then you will be expected to continue then with your analysis, design, and so on. Donc, je vais mettre tout ça dans un email to let you know, because this also has to, you have to start working. You can't wait for the end, otherwise you're not going to be ready for this assignment. So that's a bit in terms of the assignment. I have also put the assessment criteria, how you are going to be assessed. You see that on top of the game itself, there is also the report structure which is going to be assessed. Okay. Penalty for late submission, and there are special notes out there. So I'm not going to read this with you. I've just discussed very briefly. Now, when I send it to you, I will put it in the classroom by tonight, hopefully. Please go through it so that if there are any issues, then on coming Monday we can discuss about it. So that's all from my part. Any questions? Those who are there from, so the first two batches who are there from at 1, any question with regards to the assignment that I just explained? Of course, you still have to go through it in detail, but I just wanted to put the highlights in there. Any question? Any questions? Sorry. No? So if you don't have any question, I will ask you to leave now. Maybe Isha, there is a session which will still be open at 3. So if you have further issues, those who are in at 1, you can join at 3. Ou alors, bien sûr, Friday morning at 9. So there will be 2 open sessions. Anyone from any group can join in as far as it's elements that you want to discuss with regards to any problems you're having for this module, programming module. It's not communication skills, it's programming sessions, the open sessions. So for those who just came in, I let others some time to join the session. So we are going to start in, let's say, 2-3 minutes.